And I deeply hope, for both utilitarian reasons and for matters of principle, that Britain remains part of the European Union. But that does not blind me to the fact that Britain has a very, very different attitude to European integration to the one that I dearly hold myself, and which is shared by, I think, most of my countrymen. And I hope our policy of favouring ongoing European integration remains part of what we believe in. And if that means, on occasion, saying uncomfortable things to our great friends in the United Kingdom, or taking positions which are not the same as theirs, then we must do it. We must not resile from a commitment which is vital to the future of our country, which is Europe. The outlook at the moment is deeply worrying. As I've said, no matter what the vicissitudes of our history with Britain, we've a huge interest in Britain remaining in the European Union. And not just because they're our biggest trading partner. They also have a similar attitude to globalization and opening of trade opportunities, which are essential to our inward investment flow. They were the most supportive of all the states that I remember during the period when I was in the WTO when we were trying to create it. The United Kingdom, John Major at the time, was immensely supportive. And governments of left and right have always taken that position in favour of trade in Britain. So we have that common interest. They have been responsible for our not being part of Schengen, something I regret. I wish we were in Schengen. I don't agree with our opting out of anything, but I can understand that the common travel area with Britain is an important part of the life of our country in a way which made that decision an extremely difficult one. How it could have been accommodated, I'm not going to go into now. A visceral presentation of every issue in emotional nationalist terms rather than logical terms, there's no way that the debate will be conducted in a manner which is other than a straightforward emotional reaction. The result is that the vote that is anticipated, people are very worried that young people won't vote because young people would vote to stay in, that old people will vote and old people will want to go. I believe so passionately, both individually and as an Irishman, in the vital importance of European integration, that there can be no compromise on the support of any position that the United Kingdom might take in negotiations, which fundamentally undermines that. Therefore, in the negotiations on free movement before the renegotiation concluded, I certainly said, and publicly, that we couldn't compromise on that. And therefore, I think our position, we have a natural sympathy, which I think is good and understandable for Britain. I think this is a question of classic diplomacy. We have to stand absolutely firm and not be afraid to say it on basic principles of the European Union. And in regard to the Brexit negotiation, to be prepared to stand on that, even if it is inconvenient for our friends.
He is a member of the Comité d'Honneur of the Institute. We are very privileged to have him as such. I'm very proud to work with him. Just say to him, as somebody who has fought, I think, something like 13 referenda campaigns and created 3 civil society organisations in favour of a yes, that I just wish there were somebody like him in Britain who was championing the yes side. There isn't such a person, and I think this is its great weakness. because it requires somebody with something in here, very, very strongly beating. I think the passion with which you spoke, Peter, came across so honestly and so transparently and with such great force that it could not but move your audience. I just wish there was somebody like that in the UK at the moment. Unfortunately, there isn't.
This is the fifth biggest economy in the world. It is in a situation where it has been advised by the IMF, the OECD, the Governor of the Bank of England, the President of the United States, and every objective observer and every head of government that has spoken on the subject, that this would be a disastrous decision.